Hey, Sean, what are the keys you think? Your offense, you guys get off to a good start games. What are some things that you guys have been focused on trying to get that same type of production and execution in the third quarter, second half of games?
Yeah, I think it always starts with the run game. We've got to clearly do a better job of being more efficient on first down when we do run the football, and then it keeps your run pass open on second down to where when you're not in some of those long yardage situations, you're kind of a little bit more one-dimensional. So I think it's being more efficient, being able to run the football effectively, and then it kind of mixes up everything off of that.
When teams are loading the box and things like that, how much more can you guys do to get your run game going? Are there things that you've seen that you guys need to tweak, or is it just a matter of bang, bang, banging and hoping that it break through?
You know, each play is kind of there's a story on each play, and a lot of it comes down to execution. And clearly, we know as coaches and players, we've got to do a better job collectively executing, whether it's a backside combination, frontside combination, back reading it out. You know, there are some things that give credit to the defenses. They've done a nice job loading the box and stopping us, but we feel like if we correct some of the issues that have shown up, especially these last couple weeks, we'll be capable of running the football like we've shown in glimpses earlier in the year.
During the off season, a lot of talk about maybe Matt Jones being a third down back if he could win that role. Obviously, if Chris Thompson is out on Sunday, is that a role you'd feel comfortable dropping him into, maybe with some different kind of play calls?
Sure, it absolutely is. I think credit to Chris. He's done an excellent job in that role so far this year, and if it's a situation where Chris isn't able to go, we do have confidence because Matt's a guy that coming out of the backfield, he's a little bit different type of player than Chris, but he does have natural hands where you can use him as a legitimate option in the passing game, and when he's had his chances to catch the football, I think he's done a nice job this year in our screen game and in some of our play action as a check down back. So if that's the case, we feel very good about him as a third down option.
Getting Jordan Reed back, how much does that help just open things up, especially on third downs for you guys? Yeah,
it's a big-time help. You know, anytime that you're able to get a player of his caliber back, you feel really good about that. His influence and involvement both on first and second down as well will be critical to our success. And I think he's done a nice job when he's been able to play this year and proven in the run game. And obviously we all know what a special receiver he is in the pass game, so we're very excited about having him on Sunday.
Now that you've gotten Josh Laribas past his first game jitters, which you seem to have, you know, he indicated he had some of when he talked to us. But is he getting more comfortable there, both in his role as a blocker and calling the signals on the line?
Yeah, I think he is. I think just with any player, you know, the more experience you get, the more confidence you're able to gain through that experience. And I thought he did a nice job against a very good front last week. You know, he did a good job with the communication. They threw a couple different looks at us protection-wise where he was able to handle it in the right manner. And we feel good about Josh, and we're looking forward to even seeing more improvement as he goes towards his next start this season against the Bucs.
Sean, there's an off-field question today with DeSean Jackson. What's his on-field situation?
His on-field situation is he's been really working hard to try to get his hamstring ready to go, and whenever he'll be able to play, we know he's going to be a huge impact player for us, and we're excited about getting him back as soon as possible.
Field today, though, is that right?
He wasn't. He was doing some things as far as just rehabbing and doing things like that right now on his own, getting ready to go.
And what's your reaction to the distraction off the field for him today?
You know what? It wouldn't be fair for me to comment. I don't know enough about the situation, but you know, I don't know enough about it to say right now.
Sean, last week it seemed like for the first time all year, maybe Kirk got a little bit rattled. He'd had this determination through mistakes this year that I know you guys were really proud of, and then Sunday had some bad throws, and it seemed like he kind of lost that energy. How has he been bouncing back this week in practice? Has it been any different than the past weeks, or did he kind of snap back to it?
He's been good. I thought he's had a good week of practice. He's been really focused. You know, I think with last week, I think all of us were frustrated. You know, the Jets did an excellent job slowing us down in the second half, so everybody was a little bit frustrated that we weren't able to get into a better rhythm offensively, and I think he's come back. He's had a single focus this week on getting better and doing the best that he can to, you know, put himself in a position to execute at a high level against the Bucs this week.
As far as the evaluation of his play last week, you know, he had some inaccuracy like in the Atlanta game, for instance, but it seemed like there were more bad decisions last week. Is that a fair assessment? And then how do you make sure that process reverses and he trends back in the right direction, if that is accurate?
Yeah, you know, I think everybody points to one of the pick that he had in the second half, the first one. He knows that that's a decision that we can't afford to have, and that's one that he'll learn from. But I think any time that you evaluate the quarterback position at this level, defenses are so good now that over the course of a game, no matter how good of a player or how consistent you are, there's always going to be a couple decisions that you want back. And what you always constantly strive to do is minimize and eliminate those the best that you can. But, I think that one stood out that clearly really hurt us. But overall, I think he's doing a nice job with his decision-making. And like you pointed out earlier, he's just got to do a good job of being able to move forward and not let previous plays affect our ability to move forward as an offense and be productive.